Welcome guys again to this lecture where you are going to add some motion graphics from within After Effects. So in this animation, you are going to add the rectangle and animate it through position and scale. I'll show you how, of course. And you're gonna add some text and also animate the text. Of course, there are very many ways to do this animation and it's up to you later on to design it a bit better. I just want you to start up in After Effects and feel very comfortable. If you make any mistake, it really doesn't matter. Just delete and start over again. Let's start by adding the rectangle. To add a rectangle, you come to your toolbar over here and you have the shape tool. You can long click on it and decide what shape you want to use. In our case here, we are going to use the rectangle tool. Before you start drawing your rectangle, make sure please that Bezier path is unchecked. This is checked, this is unchecked. This is how you want it. Then you can click inside your composition viewer and draw the rectangle. So you click and drag. Here you are. You adjusted the way you would like. That's pretty fine for me. Now notice here a shape layer has been created for you. Inside the shape layer there is contents and there is rectangle 1. That's our rectangle here. If you twirl down transform, you have the transformations for this rectangle or the animation that you can do. There is anchor point animation, position, scale, rotation, opacity. These are very many and you can do a lot with them. For now, we want to start animating with the scale. That's very easy. The scale has a chain link, meaning it's linking the two values, the horizontal value and the horizontal scale value, of course. If you click on one and drag left or right, you notice that it is scaling it up and down according to the position of this anchor point here. Here you are. But now, let me undo this again. If you remove the chain link, you can scale on one side only, of course, according to the anchor point. Here you are. Okay, fine. I undid both of them. Now you need to adjust the position of the anchor point to have the scaling that you want. To adjust the position of the anchor point is very easy. You come to the pan behind tool or the anchor point tool, as you can read. The shortcut is Y. Come to your anchor point, click on it, and you can start moving it anywhere you want. If you have snapping off, you can use the control key or the command key on the Mac to start snapping it on corners, anywhere you would like, something like this. I'll just snap it on the right side in the middle. Now, if I use the scale, as you notice, it's gonna scale on the anchor point. So at 0, it will be on the anchor point. Here you are. And then you can scale it this way. Fine. So let's create an animation here. To start animating is very easy. Just click on the stopwatch to initiate the animation and a keyframe is created for you. If you don't know, a keyframe means at this time, that's 0, please put the scale at 100, 100. As simple as this. Then you come, for example, after half a second, something like this. If you click on your timeline indicator and drag it, you will be at half second. You can see here almost. Okay, and then you can change one of the values. If, for example, you put it at 3%, here you are, you have a small bar. I'll just type 3%. I'll just type 3. Okay, so you notice what happened here. After Effects has interpolated the animation from the first keyframe, 100, to the second keyframe at 3%. And now, if you press spacebar, you can play the animation in real time. Here it is, very cool. Well, this is fine, but not that fine. We want to make it more interesting than that. Let's say you want to animate also the position. So you make the rectangle come from the outside to the inside. So let's go now to the half second. This is where we want our shape to be. So I'll keyframe the position by clicking on the stopwatch to start the animation. Go to the beginning and go for the selection tool. And now I change the position. You click on your shape layer and you drag it outside. If it's moving up and down with you, please press shift and it will move in a straight line. Here you are. Okay. Now, if you play your animation, you notice that both the position and the scale are going to be animated. Here it is. But actually, this is not really the animation that we want. We want first to bring it in with the position, then to animate the scale. So what we need to do is to move the scale animation further down the timeline. You can click on the scale, so both keyframes are selected, or you can create a lasso around these two keyframes. Of course, clicking on the scale is much easier. Then you click on one of the keyframes and just drag it to the Right, here you are. So I just position it at the end of the animation of the position. And here you are, you have your animation. If you play, pretty nice and pretty cool. So now let's add some text. To add some text, you come to your toolbar over here and you have the type tool. If you long click on it, you notice you have horizontal type tool and vertical type tool. Let's select the horizontal type tool, the normal typing. And then if you click inside your composition, you can start typing. For example, I will type I am A. Now I want to add another line here. I want to add motion graphics and then a third line, designer. Well, I need to exit editing this text layer. To do that, you can use a shortcut. It's Control or Command on the Mac and the Enter or Return key on the main keyboard. Here you are. So it exits editing this layer and it will allow you to add more text by clicking. You can type now motion graphics. And then to exit the editing but stay in the text tool, you press Control Enter on the main keyboard. If you are on the Mac, it will be Command Enter. Then let's type the last text. I will click and say designer. Now I finished adding text. You can go for your selection tool. Now you want to design your text. If you click on a layer and you come to your character panel, maybe it's already open with you. And if you don't have it here, you can come to window and make sure that character is checked. In the character panel, you can change the font, anyone you want. I'm going to use Arial because I'm sure you have it. You can also change the font type here. You have regular, italic, whatever you like for Arial. You can change the size of the font. Okay, so let's make it 70. Just click inside and write the figure. Make sure all the rest is identical to what I have here. Auto, 0, 100, 100, and so on. For the second one, maybe you want to make it bigger. For example, let's make it 80. And the designer, let's make it also 80. Here you are. Now we want to align these layers on the right side. So let's select the three of them. I select the first one, press Shift, and select the second one and the third one. Now the three of them are selected. Let's go to the Align panel. If you don't have it, you know now you can go to Window and make sure Align is checked. Within the Align panel here, you want to work on the selection because you selected all of them. You want to select them now, horizontal right alignment. But also you want to distribute them to have equal distance from each layer. So you click on the vertical center distribution and they are quite aligned now and it's beautiful. So let's position them now in the right way. If you scrub through, you will notice that they are not pretty cool according to the rectangle. So again, I will select the three of them, click on one of them and just position it wherever you like. For example, over here. Let's look at our animation now. Nothing magical yet. Fine, so let's animate the text. I select the three layers, as you can see here. Press P to get the position. Instead of twirling down, 1, 2, 3 to get the transforms, you can just press the shortcut P to get the position. And let's say after a half second, just over here, on the same keyframes, if you notice, you click on one of the stopwatch and a keyframe is created for every layer. This is because there are the three of them selected. Come back to the beginning and say, okay, I don't want them here, I want them outside, just like the rectangle. Click on one of them, and when you start dragging, you can press Shift and you'll go horizontal, and here you are taking them out. Now notice the animation, pretty cool. From there on, you want to adjust the timing. First of all, you want the rectangle to come, okay? And when the rectangle is being scaled down, you want the character to open. Having the three layers selected, you click one of them and just move them over here at the same keyframe of the shape layer. Now, if you play your animation, you press spacebar. Very nice animation. Let's make it a bit more beautiful. Okay, if you come over here and select all the keyframes by creating a lasso, meaning you click and drag and you select all of them and you press the F9 key. This key will ease your animation. You will see a lot of it later in the course and you will learn how to work with it. For now, just press F9 and you have easy eased your animation. Notice it became a bit smoother. As a bonus, let's add one more thing. You don't want these three text layers to come all on the same time, as you can see here. You want them to come one after the other. So let's tap on the animation and decide. You want first the I am A to come first, then after a few frames to have motion graphics coming in and designer. The way to do it is very easy. You select motion graphics because you don't want to change I am A, and just click on motion graphics and just bring it to the right in time. Now you are delaying it in time. Then let's select designer, click and drag it also just like this. Let's play the animation now and see exactly what's happening. So now it's up to you if you want them to come at the same time or one after the other. Of course, you can adjust the timing over here. Let's lower down this bar now, just like this, so we can see our animation. And here you are. You created a fantastic animation. You are now a real motion graphics creating your first animation. Now, I beg you guys to come and do this exercise, and don't worry if you have any questions, you make any mistake, and so on. It's not important. I want to start working with After Effects, and I want you to wait until lots of explanation and then start doing something nice. This is your introduction. You are going to become a motion graphic designer in After Effects. So start it now, and in the next lecture, you will learn step by step how to use everything you have learned in this lecture. Thank you. I'll see you in the next lecture.